Hey, good morning everybody. It's Justin here. I hope you're having a beautiful day today. And this video is how to create what you want, how to create a life that you want. And I'm gonna go over some really important tips in this video, so stay tuned because I got a lot of great knowledge to pass over to you. So how to create what you want in your life, and truly how to create what you want. Like what you're seeing right now for me is exactly what I wanted a few years ago. You know, I created exactly what I wanted. I attracted the exact life that I have right now. And there's no such thing as an end destination, because when you get to a place that you wanted, there's always something more to attain, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing like, I'm gonna actually just switch hands. There's nothing psychologically wrong with that, because it's a masculine quality, especially in men, to pursue freedom and to keep progressing. It's just part of our nature. So anyway, but one of the most important things on creating the life that you want is trusting the process. You have to trust in the process, because by trusting yourself, and not hoping. You don't want to hope, because hope is misinterpreted. So when you hope, you're actually implying that you're hoping for those things to come, but they probably won't. Like you're thinking that I probably won't get what I want. I'm going to hope for it, but I probably, it's implying that you're trying and failing. You're failing. When you trust, you're trusting the process. You trust that the things that you want to create in your life, whether it's happiness, a financial freedom, having an amazing life with amazing women and people and relationships and traveling the world, anything that you truly want, if you trust it enough and trust that you will have it, well, you will, because you believe. There's a backup of belief in that trusting process. And that's super important. Whereas if you're hoping, you can hope in one hand, or what is it? You wish in one hand. And, what is that one? Yeah, you wish. You wish with one hand and you shit in the other. See which one fills up faster. Yeah. But anyway, enough of those lame jokes today. So a big thing here is what you want to do to really get this manifesting in your life. See, like right now I'm working on manifesting new things that I truly want to bring into my life. So I am trusting that process of it happening. And it's good to refer back to past successes. And like if you've been at different places in your life where you were in a low point, let's say, like in a really bad place. Like for me, years ago, I used to be, like a long time ago, I went down into an alcoholic, lost, broke, no job kind of mentality, lifestyle. But and I came out of that and got a lot of money, and I changed my entire life, and I created everything that I wanted. It was through this process of trusting the process and taking action every day, moving forward to that goal and being okay with it, using that positive energy, because when you trust the process, you're allowing the positive energy that you have inside you, that great life and that purpose that wants to come out, and you're excelling it towards your goals. You're excelling it toward your actions every day. So you're not going around in the doom and gloom, worry kind of state. And if you have debt, that's okay. It's actually okay to have debt, because when you look at debt, you look at it like you went in debt because you trusted the process of exactly what you're doing, the decisions you're making in the now, to get you what you want in the future. The reason you have the debt is because you trust yourself. And years ago, I used to have some debt when I was in a low, because I had to survive. But I trusted it. Next thing you know, I was making $17,000 a month in my store removal business, and I created abundance for quite a few years. But through life, we have up and down cycles. It's part of our life. It's part of everything that we live with. We live with the cycles of the universe and of the earth and of the seasons and of our hormonal cycles and our circadian rhythm cycles and our spiritual cycles and our zodiac cycles and you see where I'm going there. So there are years and phases, short-term, long-term, depending on how much you need to learn and evolve and grow of abundance. And there's also phases of lack of abundance. Well, not really lack, but, well, yeah, it can be. And that's important for your development because most of the time you needed to learn, sorry about the wind, you need to learn about where that came from, these experiences and these low cycles to test your ability, to test your spiritual courage, to see how serious you are, but also to gain new skills in that area. So you need to like go through these phases. I'm actually gonna go this way to try to get out of the wind for you guys. You need to go through these phases in order to develop your character to a level where you actually, like, because if you're at a certain frequency in your life and you're like, let's say you're making $2,000 a month. You're putting $2,000 a month in your pocket, you're paying everything off, you have food on the table, but you can't buy more and you can't like go hard and do all these things. Let's say you're making all that, right? Well, that's okay. And let's say you want to make $50,000 a month, and you want to make millions of dollars. And how to attract that at the current state of where you're at is you're doing the work and you're doing the necessary work in order to not only attract that amount, you got to change your frequency and your thought patterns. You're training yourself to be ready for that amount. So that way, when you attain that goal of $50,000 a month, let's say, well, then when you attain that goal, you're actually going to be well experienced, well adjusted, and really knowledgeable about what you're gained so that you can actually keep what you got and you don't lose it. Because life isn't about what you get, it's about what you keep. And the training of being like barely making it by, like most people are in the world, that's okay, because you can use that time to put your ego down so you're not out chasing girls, partying, spending lots of money, going all over the place, doing a lot of activities where you can sit down, learn humility, learn necessary knowledge in order to acquire that money, but also keep that abundance and keep that life, whatever you want to create. So you do it in the now, and it teaches you how to be okay with less and be grateful with what you have, and to really see your life and not as like a jail cell, like, I can't get out, but as an opportunity to do the work in the now at that very moment to get you to where you want to go. So keep visualizing and imagining your future and exactly what you want to be doing and what it looks like in that future. All of these important things, you keep doing all of that because that's what's going to help, that's what's going to attract it to you, but also it's going to help you feel a little bit better. But you're not doing it to the point where you're like suffering because you're going, but if you hope, you'll suffer because you're hoping that you get there, but you're implying that you won't get it. So you're sitting there like a loser in the now, doing dumb things. Like if you're watching television all the time and you're wasting time on any games, or if you're out drinking or doing drugs excessively, well then that is negating and covering it. You're trying to cover up the pain of that moment to replace it with the feeling of an illusionary state that it all wears off. These distractions come to an end, these drugs wear off, all of these things come into effect. So use that time to create exactly what you want in the future, and then and act like you've already kind of attained it. So I don't care if you got $100,000 in debt. Do not think about the debt. It's there, manage it, and call your financial institutions. And it's crazy, like 90% of Canadians have debt. So, this is what you do. You call your banks and you tell them your situation. And next thing you know, they cut your payments in half and they lower your interest because, and you tell them what you're doing because you believe in yourself so much and you trust yourself so much that the debt that you have now is nothing compared to the success and abundance that you're going to create in the near future. But you just need to make it work for yourself so you're not worried, and just do little monthly payments. And who cares about that? Like, I don't care if it's $100,000, I don't care if it's $500,000 in debt. It's like when you go get a student loan, you know that you're getting that loan, so you have the debt and you got the stress of the debt, but you're committed into your future and to your knowledge and everything you're doing right then and there, because you trust yourself so much that what you're doing, you're going to gain that back plus extra, because you value your knowledge, you value yourself, right? And you trust yourself, you believe in yourself. So that's the most important. So don't go into a state of worry. If you have a lack of money and you're creating what you want, that's okay. That's actually a gift, because it humbles you, it calms you down, it allows you to learn about the ego's tricks and learn about the humility that you need in order to be successful, and also how to keep money once you attain it. Because you're not going to just, once you do this stuff for a long time, you're not just gonna go out and splurge like the guys that win the lottery. That's what they do. They're so broke all the time, and then they just wish, and then all of a sudden they just get really lucky. Like it's like 90% of the people that win the lottery, or more than that, they go below it, and they end up right where they were, if not broker, and in more financial ruin, because they didn't know they didn't deserve to get it, and they also didn't do any knowledge or any education on how to keep it. They just don't know what they're doing. And also, like, if you're working on something, how to create what you want. Like, if you have a vision for something and you believe in something and you know it'll work with time, but you fail at like endless amounts of ideas within that idea. So like, let's say you want to start a company or something, and you keep failing and you keep failing or whatever, and years go by. That's okay. Just keep the vision and the belief there. You gotta look at the whole market too. Like, if it's an absolute waste of, like, if there's no need or market for it and there's no like real demand for what you want to create in your life, well then sometimes you need to let go of those personal brands and passion businesses and stuff, so that you can let it go and start something else, right? But if it's really something that can be fulfilled and filled and has a high need, well, then you just keep persisting. It teaches you persist, teaches you that patience card. Patience is so important in attracting money, into creating anything that you truly want, like building muscle. You learn the card of patience, and you don't take setbacks or where you wish you were or where you want to be as you don't take it as a failure. You don't let it come into you and, oh, I feel like a failure, because that's very easy to do, because you're like, oh, all these things aren't working, I failed. There's no problem with that. Getting back up and learning from those failures is what's more important. Don't take the failure as a defeat. Take it as another step to where you're going, to another step of success and another step of where you need to be going. And also pay attention to what you're learning when those failures occur. And when you go and try something and it doesn't work, be like, hey, well, at least I know that, at least now that's one less thing I got to try. But also look at what you've learned from it all and what you gained from doing all those things, and use that, and then keep going forward. Just keep moving forward. So yeah, guys, like, believe in yourself, be okay with the now. I don't care if you got a lot of like, that's the biggest thing of attracting what you truly want in your life, is when you allow the setbacks, the worry of not having enough money, you know, the stress of all the kids and a family or whatever, or anything going on in your environment, and all these worries about the world, and you allow that to come into your consciousness, that's what you're manifesting. What you focus on, you create. So, and it's not to say that you need to be in denial about certain things that you're not happy with, like, but you kind of, like, you don't want to sweep it under the rug where you never see it. You want to manage it and be okay with it, but talk in a positive mind frame. So like if you have debt, but you got that debt because you're building, right? Then you're speaking to yourself never of the debt. You're speaking to yourself about the abundance that you're creating and the reason you have the debt, and you're okay with it. You just manage it. Don't even, just pay little amounts, the minimum amount that you need to pay, and let it go, because you know that what you're creating and the amount you've invested for that debt is going to be so fruitful. And I've learned this from my own experience in the past. Like before I started my snow removal business, I was like struggling for quite a few years, 9 to 5s, working full-time jobs. I did all that for a long time, quite a while. Like 8-9 years, right? And I just worked and grinded because I believed, and I was okay with those 9 to 5s, and I was okay with those jobs because I believed on where I was going. I believed on what I would get and what I was going to attain. So that just excited me. Next thing you know, it all fell into place. And then I lost all that. I burnt all that down to the ground because that's not, I wanted to change. I realized that I had a lot of issues in my past, that I created a false life. So I also created a life that I wanted at the time of my perception and of my growth and consciousness at that time. But once I got all that, I realized, like, fuck, this isn't what I want. So then I attracted this. I attracted where I am right now. And after I attracted this, and after I've been here for the last couple of years, or 2.5 years already, I moved in December, so yeah, just over 2 years. But after I did all that, I realized, holy shit, this is amazing, because I attracted exactly what I wanted. Even the vision, like the view that I have is like identical, living on the water. All these things are like spot on, but I was like, damn, now what do I really want to create? And then I've evolved so much since I came out here, and I believe that I came here for a reason, because it's what resonated with me. And now it's leading me to the next things. I'm opening Hunter Beach Campground, Awaken things are starting to grow, and visualize it going. It's so exciting, guys. So like, if you don't know what you want, follow your heart. Like, what do you want to do? And that will open up avenues somewhere. Sorry for the wind. Thanks for watching. Stay abundant and create your dreams, guys. It's crazy out here right now. A little bit chilly. The Atlantic Ocean, the East Coast. Have a beautiful day. And let's create our dreams and manifest this to reality, because it works and it starts within your mind, your higher vision. You will attain your dreams. Stay persistent, stay thinking about it. Don't let the negativity take you down. And get away from the negative people that don't believe in dreams, possibilities of being financially free or creating the life that you want. Don't go around those people that are highly contagious, and they will affect your success levels. And that's one thing I've had to learn about moving over here to New Brunswick, is I had to cut a lot of the people that I thought or even liked me. And once I told them the truth, as soon as I just like say things that they needed to hear or they didn't want to hear, then I find out that they weren't friends at all. Oh, and I was just being used, manipulated. And that's the part about having abundance and being a successful individual, is people want to just take from you. They have interesting religious ideals about who you are, what you are, and what they believe. And they think that because you have money, you've hurt people, or you're broke, or they're just jealous. So you got to get away from those people. Surround yourself with like-minded individuals, whether it be online like you're doing right now. So I appreciate you if you're watching this, because you understand what it takes to get where you want to go. And that everything that I've learned over the years have been like the help from my mentors. I read books every day. I watch YouTube videos every day. I work on different levels of my life. And in a time where maybe I'm not necessarily like I'm happy, but I'm not necessarily where I want to be, because I want to create more for my life. I don't want to just sit on a chunk of land in New Brunswick and train and be a bodybuilder and do all that all the time. I have amazing things that I'm creating, but I use this time to be abundant, grateful, and to educate and learn every day, improve myself, and just stay hungry on that and not get lost in it. And I'll create what I want, and I'm so close to leveling up, and I'm so happy to be able to actually help you guys and make these videos for you guys, because that's what I love about this winter, actually, all the content and everything I'm able to create for you guys. So I really do love that, and I appreciate you guys again. So thanks for watching. Have a lovely day. And this is Justin LeBlanc, Awakening Aesthetics, and awaken the aesthetic version of yourself and inspire others, guys. Peace, and have a beautiful day.